We saw the surveillance video. You was there for like 30 seconds.
Nah, it was actually like for like 15
seconds.
I was gone. I'm like,
apologize, bro. Or you know what's going on. Apologize, my.
From a rapper's honest confession that turned all his fans against him to a rapper getting ran down on for messing with the wrong person, these are 7 times rappers got exposed for being fake gangsters. Let's start with Tekashi 6ix9ine, because he's one rapper who was exposed in one of the most humiliating ways possible for pretending to be about that life. At the height of his fame in 2018, 6ix9ine made a habit of disrespecting Chicago rappers just for fun. At one point, he even hopped on Instagram Live with FBG Duck, trolling him and saying he'd pull up to O Block since he wasn't scared of Chicago rappers.
yeah, I'm about to pull up the O Block Gangsters. One time.
Hey, I swear to God, hey, look, you funnier than I thought, bro.
Leave me on O Block 30 minutes.
Because you got all the police with you. When I catch you, I'm gonna smack the shit out of you. I'm gonna see you real soon, bro. I'm gonna see you real soon, bro.
Listen, you gonna smack the shit out of me, but you haven't ran down on none of the niggas that killed your homies.
Bro, where you think they at, bro? They ass with my homies. And why is you saying that on live, bro? You want me to trick on myself? You sound
no, it's not.
I gotta know you out here telling.
Nobody actually believed 6ix9ine would show up in a neighborhood as dangerous as O Block, but surprisingly, he did. And he even posted a video of himself there on Instagram.
O Block right here. This what y'all wanted me in Chicago. This O Block right here. I should call this shit No Block. It's 10 o'clock. What the f is that? It ain't outside. It's only 10 p.m. Is that, blood?
However, that flex didn't last long. Shortly after, leaked surveillance footage revealed that 6ix9ine had actually shown up at 3 a.m., not 10 p.m. as he made it seem. And he didn't stick around either. He left immediately after filming a quick 12-second video, probably knowing what could happen if anyone spotted him. When he was called out for it later on The Breakfast Club, he didn't even try to deny it.
I was there chilling.
Because now we saw the surveillance video. You was there for like 30 seconds.
Nah, it was actually like for like 15
seconds.
I was gone. I'm like,
And that wasn't the only time 6ix9ine was exposed for faking the gangster lifestyle. Things got a lot more serious when, after blowing up in 2017, he started affiliating with the notorious 9 Trey Bloods in New York to boost his street credibility. But just a year later, everything fell apart. The crew, led by a man named Harv, who had once been 6ix9ine's own security guard, turned on him, kidnapping him and robbing him of $750,000 worth of jewelry. That incident was a turning point. 3 years later, during a podcast with DJ Academics and Wack 100, Wack told 6ix9ine straight up that the fact he didn't retaliate, despite knowing exactly who robbed him, was proof he was never really about that life in the first place.
You give me right that could do you wrong, right? And this street stupid mentality could do you wrong, and you be like, you know what? That's still my homie. This is how the streets go.
Let me tell you what ain't gangster.
That's not gangster.
No, hold on. Let me tell you what ain't gangster. This is why I look in your eyes and tell you, stop trying to portray something you're not. The fact that you knew the exact motherfucker who kidnapped you and robbed you, and you waiting on another motherfucker to handle it, and you didn't go handle it yourself. You know why you didn't handle it yourself? Because you didn't come up with them grassroots of knowing how to handle it.
6ix9ine responded by saying that people just like to pick on him, pointing out that King Von's crew, including Lil Durk, didn't get the same criticism for not retaliating after Von's death, even though they also knew who the shooter was. And while 6ix9ine may have had a point, he still ended up proving himself right when he openly admitted he wasn't a real gangster, calling himself a proud snitch. After being robbed by members of the 9 Trey gang, 6ix9ine was arrested that same year on RICO charges connected to the gang and faced up to 47 years in prison. Instead of taking the fall, he struck a deal with federal prosecutors and famously testified against his former 9 Trey associates. After his release, he showed zero remorse about cooperating with authorities. In an interview with Fox News, he doubled down and said he had no regrets about his decision.
Comfortable in my own skin to say, you know what? Yes, I did cooperate. And I'm proud that I cooperated because you would do the same.
And just like 6ix9ine, this next rapper also ended up telling on his crew in court, but the impact it had on his career was far from what anyone expected. Back in 2022, the Young Stoner Life, or YSL crew, which included Gunna and Young Thug, was hit with a RICO case, with prosecutors accusing YSL of being an organized criminal enterprise rather than just a record label. Several months into the case, Gunna decided to take a plea deal and allegedly cooperated against YSL. And as expected, he was instantly clowned pretty much everywhere he went for breaking the street code.
Gonna want it, man. You can't be in the city doing all that rat ass.
What?
And it wasn't just random people in the streets calling him out. Gunna was also blackballed by rappers within the industry. Even his former close friend Lil Durk turned on him, publicly calling him a rat during an interview with DJ Academics.
Do you believe that Gunna is a snitch? Huh? Do you believe that Gunna told?
Man, I don't sit up and play games, man. That man told. You should have went in there and kept your mouth closed. If you a rat, you a rat. And if you rewind this clip a little bit, I looked into the camera and I told you, if you a rat, I hate you. Because I love Thug.
Furthermore, Lil Durk made it clear that even if he and Gunna had a massive hit song together, he still wouldn't perform it on stage ever again. But unlike 6ix9ine, Gunna managed to pull off something almost no one expected. Despite ruining his reputation and getting blackballed by many of his peers, he still continued to find mainstream success with chart-topping releases. Next up, we got Dax. Dax got confronted and checked in real life after trying to act tough with Tory Lanez online. The two Canadian rappers got into it back in 2019, and it all started when Dax made a post claiming he could beat Tory in a rap battle. Tory responded by sending him a DM, telling him to stop taking unnecessary shots, but instead of backing down, Dax boasted their conversation publicly and even dropped a diss track aimed at Tory. Unfortunately for Dax, Tory ran into him on the street shortly after and chased him down, demanding an apology.
Or this is not gonna end, or this is not gonna end. Apologize, bro. Apologize, bro. Or you know what's going on. Apologize, apologize.
I got you, bro.
Apologize.
Got you, man.
Say sorry. Say sorry.
All right, G.
All right, bet.
I got you, G.
After the video surfaced, many fans assumed Tory was just being salty about the diss track, but he cleared things up in an interview, explaining that what really set him off wasn't the song, it was how disrespectful Dax had been to him during their DM conversation on Instagram.
I see this saying a bunch of wild shit. I'm gonna kill this Tory Lanez. I'm da 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 da. But I don't even know what he's talking about.
But while Dax was humiliated face-to-face by Tory, Soulja Boy might not have been so lucky in this next situation, and probably would have taken a serious beatdown for clout chasing if his crew hadn't stepped in. At the height of his 2017 beef with Chris Brown, Soulja was determined to prove he had more street cred than CB. He started claiming he was from Compton and even said he was a member of the Bloods gang.
Basically, me and Chris Brown from the same hood. I'm from Bumpton, Fruittown, Pyro. I'm a Blood. I'm a member of the Blood gang. When I was in Atlanta, I was running hoop around. I've been gangbanging since I was 11 years old. I've been fighting my whole life. I've been knocking niggas out since high school. You know what I'm saying? In front of the whole school. Bah! Laying unconscious face first on the ground, so this ain't nothing new to me. You see what I'm saying? But CB, he ain't been to the hood in 2 years. He got to check in anyway. Whether he was gonna beef with me or not, he's still not good in the hood.
To prove he was serious about his claims of being gang-affiliated, Soulja Boy decided to link up with members of Compton's Fruittown Pyru gang. But not everyone there was willing to associate with him, and tensions quickly rose, almost leading to a fight breaking out.
You gotta check in anyway. You got us up. You talking about you gonna knock my big homie out. I'm catching phase from my big homie wet. You dig? And Big Soulja ain't gonna catch no fame cause I'm worth too many M's, you dig? Hey, what's going on, man? They say Soulja ain't from the hood. They say Soulja ain't from the hood.
Get off me, though.
Oh, yeah, that's like me, though. What's happening?
So the guys who were actually riding with Soulja stepped in to stop the situation from getting out of hand. But by then, the damage was done. The clip went viral, and Soulja was relentlessly clowned online for cloud chasing. To make things even more embarrassing, a few Fruittown Pyru members did an interview just days later where they refused to acknowledge Soulja as one of their own and claimed that the people seen with him in the video had simply been paid to make an appearance.
They think they could pay us and be from the hood. That's out, bro. You can pay everybody from the hood, and you can come see me, but I ain't gonna claim you. I don't give a blood. On Pyru, blood. You ain't out here with us. Pyru, I don't care about none of that. And that's right here, blood. The niggas I claim on Pyru. You ain't from Fruittown, blood.
YG, a certified Pyru Blood member, also made it clear that Soulja Boy wasn't from Compton and definitely wasn't Blood. But even if Soulja made it out of the situation in Compton unharmed, the damage to his reputation was already done. And while his credibility was slipping, another rapper managed to ruin both his street image and his career, all in just one interview. Back in 2015, drill rapper Slim Jesus exploded onto the scene with his track Drill Time. The song quickly went viral, and despite partially being treated as a meme, the music music video was pulling in massive numbers on YouTube and even attracting attention from other drill rappers who wanted to collaborate. But it all came crashing down when fans began questioning Slim Jesus's authenticity. While he rapped about smoking his ops and living a street lifestyle, people started to suspect that it was all just an act, and Slim himself didn't try to deny it. In an interview with DJ Vlad, he openly admitted that in reality, he was nothing like the gangster he portrayed in his music.
You know, when you listen to your music, there's a lot of street stories. Like, how involved were you street-wise in terms of...
Street-wise, like, I mean, for the most part on the shit, like, I got homies that are in that shit, and I know people who are, and people around me. I mean, I haven't, like, I'm not out here catching bodies and shit, obviously. Like, I'm f***ing smart.
Do you have a criminal record at all?
Nah, I'm straight.
So you've never been arrested?
Nah, I've never been arrested. I'm straight.
In Slim Jesus's mind, he was simply trying to be honest, but he didn't realize that honesty was causing irreversible damage, sabotaging his own career before it even had the chance to truly take off.
You know, you keep it 100. I mean, I respect the fact that you're not trying to make up no shit right now.
Yeah, no. I'm about, like, I make music. Like, I mean, granted, you know, I hang out with people and shit, but that don't mean that I'm out here, you know, doing some dumb shit, trying to get, you know, ruin what I got going. Like, I realize that if you got an opportunity to get out of, you know, a spot, you shouldn't, you know, be around catching bodies and shit.
The interview quickly went viral and became one of DJ Vlad's most watched rapper interviews ever. But almost overnight, Slim Jesus's reputation was destroyed. No one wanted anything to do with him anymore, and he hasn't released a song in over 4 years. But while Slim Jesus ended up exposing himself in that situation, this next rapper was exposed in an even more ironic way, when his own past came back to haunt him. Before all the fame, money, and talk of street life, Rick Ross actually worked as a correctional officer in Florida. At first, he denied it because he knew it was a bad look for his image, but he eventually admitted it was true. 50 Cent pointed out that because Ross had been a CO, a lot of the things he raps about, especially his drug dealer stories, were lies.
He can still write a verse, but his verse always has drug dealer references in him. Yeah. When he's admitted to being a correctional officer. Okay. In order to be a correctional officer, you have to not have any criminal history. That's right.
To 50 Cent, Rick Ross was portraying himself as a gangster when he clearly wasn't about that life. And because of that, 50 has made it known on several occasions that he has no respect for him.
Is there anything about Ross and his career that you have any respect for?
No, there's nothing there. There's nothing there. I never wanted to work with him. Like, you know, I understand from a perspective of someone who's just listening to what it sounds like.
Hey, I mean, he's a great rapper.
Like, but does it matter that he's a correctional officer? Does that ever matter? Does it matter? Even when artists, look at the irony of the artists that come under him.
So Meek,
right?
Wale,
prison reform, and all of the wrongfully convicted and wrongfully treated people in the prison system.
I see where you're going.
While he's on the whole other side of that.
And it gets even worse. When Ross was transitioning from being a correctional officer to becoming a rapper, he chose his stage name after a well-known former drug kingpin named Freeway Rick Ross, a man he has absolutely no real connection to. Freeway Ricky later appeared on Joe Rogan's podcast, where he revealed even more troubling details about Ross beyond just stealing his name.
Have you ever seen anybody confront Rick Ross about you?
Not in person, no. Anytime I'm around, he disappears. When you got some money, they don't care if you beating women or making them lick tampons. You know, everybody with you.
Right.
So, you know, he was on top of the world at one time.
He was a corrections officer.
Yeah, but he was. But when he got some money, they forgot about he was a correctional officer. You got gangsters, you know, doing records with him, and you know, people who say, "Oh, I hate snitches" and all this, but they doing records with a police officer who put handcuffs. You know, I got letters from guys that was in jail with him when he was a correctional officer, and they told me what a shitty guy he was. You know, that they would be shooting dice, he would take the dice and all the money, and they got extra soup, he'd take the soups, and they say that's the kind of cop he was. And then when I hear that he's the biggest gangster rapper on the planet, it's like, it's just...
As for Ross, he's never been too eager to talk about the topic, which, given how damaging it is to his image, isn't all that surprising.
How do you feel about Bossa giving you the name Officer Ricky? I just want to hear it from you.
Baby, I'm worth too much money to even be, you know,
sidetracked on this carpet, you know what I mean?
We're not trying to sidetrack you, though. I'm not trying to sidetrack you at all.
I'm just letting you know that, just
Right.
so you'll know. And you can let them know whatever, you know, it's all love.
But while Rick Ross might have been flexing a fake lifestyle and still managed to get away with it, this next rapper's clout chasing got him checked by a notorious street gang, and it ultimately sabotaged his entire career. CJ, a rapper from Staten Island, New York, blew up in 2020 with his drill track Whoopty. But it wasn't the song itself that stirred up controversy, it was the title. The word Whoopty caused major backlash from the Bloodhound Brims gang. According to CJ though, it was nothing more than a roll call he and his friends used to greet each other.
Pretty much it's just like a roll call, you know, whenever I see my guys in the street, and you know, that's how we greet each other. It's like a New York when people say, "You're."
What CJ didn't explain, or maybe didn't even know, was that the phrase whoopty is a greeting used exclusively by members of the Bloodhound Brims, a notorious gang that CJ was never a part of. And to make matters even worse, he went on to copyright the phrase as his own, which only made the Brims even more furious. A member of the Bloodhound Brims went on Instagram Live and started dissing CJ, saying he's definitely not Hound, and kept saying he stole their sayings, as in whoopty and bop, while he had no connection to them. It was only a matter of time before word spread that CJ was a fake gangster trying to claim a phrase he had no right to use in the first place. And soon, interviewers like DJ Vlad were bringing people on to speak openly about the situation.
Okay. Whoopty was founded by my brother La Brim, right?
What is Whoopty?
It's like a gang call, right? It's a word that a gang uses. You know,
it's a blood thing?
It's a blood thing. And
okay.
This kid, CJ, basically didn't have no ties to them or whatever, and just basically just jacked they whole shit, you know what I'm saying?
Even the founder of the Bloodhound Brims, Lay Brim, spoke out from prison, calling CJ a fraud and accusing him of clout chasing.
Yeah, this your boy La Brim Johnson. So I'm gonna take a moment to set the record straight for you. I see there's a lot of controversy over this whoopty thing. So first and foremost, CJ made a hot song, but the content that he used is not his content. So his foundation is based off a lie. He's not whoopty. He don't know nothing about whoopty. He just seen a fly splash and he jacked it, which is a smart move, but in life you gotta show respect and you can't live a lie.
CJ, on the other hand, insisted that he never stole anything and said he didn't know any explanations to people who didn't really know him.
I never stole anything, you know? Just because I said the word in a song or I made it a song doesn't mean I took ownership of the word. I never said I owned the word. I never said I created the word. You know, shout out to, you know, the person who did. I definitely don't want to, you know, take responsibility for the word. You know, I said what I said, and like I said, if you know, you know, and if you don't, you don't. But shout out to, you know, the creator of that word.
From rappers exposing themselves with their own words to others getting called out by the streets, these moments remind us that in hip-hop, authenticity isn't just respected, it's required. And when the truth comes out, it doesn't matter how untouchable you think you are, because the streets never forget.